Allow me to relay this information. I'm sure you already know it because everyone's living it. That we're being priced out of existence. Food prices are creating a financial stress. I keep seeing the videos on different channels on YouTube, ScrewTube. I see the compilations and the comments made by the content creators of those channels that are showing people just losing their minds. They're living now in storage sheds, for lack of a better word, storage units. You know, you rent them every month to store your furniture and stuff like that. People are living in that increasingly. People are living in RVs, which, if if you can't afford to live in an apartment or a home, I mean, in RVs, ain't no shame in that. You got a shower, you got a stove, you got a kitchen. But see, this is where they want this is what they want. This whole tiny house movement. It seems cozy and attractive, and it is, and cheaper and less maintenance. But they want to ease us out or force us out of homes, your apartment, and they want you in tiny this or tiny that or a little storage unit. And if they get their way, just like over there in China, stack them and pack them, little tiny apartments. I've seen videos of people in China, for instance, living in literally they might have 4 feet of clearance from the floor to the ceiling and maybe 6 or 7 feet. I mean, it might be 30 square feet tops. They're living in these coffins, is what it seems like, in these apartment buildings over there in China. And see, that's what they want us here. They want us to have, like, there's even apartments in I saw not too long ago in New York City, like 110 square feet. And that's not really an apartment; it's a room you're in, but it's so small. It's like, and people are they're living in this increasingly, and this is the direction they want us to go, because ultimately, if you're going to be alive by 2030, they want us in stack them and pack them open air cities. I don't know what part of this anybody doesn't get, and this might not be an important topic for BitChute, because the food thing, the videos like this might get 87 views or whatever, but in other areas of the world where people actually say, hey, yeah, this is bullshit, we're struggling here with everything, including food, this will get a lot more views. Now, notice how I haven't paused the button every 10 or 2 seconds. Like, these newfangled content creators keep pausing. Like, then they'll play it and say a word, then they'll press pause. It's like they can't complete a fucking thought. It's fucking annoying to keep doing this and to watch it. Annoying. But I digress at any rate. Are you feeling the pinch of Bidenflation, of the scamdemicflation since 2020? Huh? Because a lot of people are. And if you're not, you either got your ducks severely in a row, or you're kind of, sort of, or well off. Because a lot of people are feeling this, and they're shocked at the damn prices that they're seeing every fucking time they turn around. Prices going up, up, up. Prices are going up, 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 up. I was going to show you a picture of an empty wallet, but I think you understand. I don't need to show you this time. It's just going to be me shooting breeze with you guys. An affordability crisis has been crippling the United States economy. Polling, meaning polls, has shown that food prices are universally creating overwhelming financial stress, burdening households. I don't know how anybody out there right now, you got you got a couple kids, a wife, a husband. Some of you families might have 4 kids. At my church, the church I go to, one of the churches I go to, there's this family that literally has, I think, 10. I don't know how you're doing it. I really don't. See, I need this for stress. The financial distress is not limited to the U.S. It's in Canada. It's true to roof also. They're experiencing the pain of rising prices and the sting of going without. People are now, this is my reading glasses, okay? People right now are eating 1 time a day. Now, I know that's supposed to be good for you 1 time if you can do it. It's a big form of fasting. It's supposed to be good for you, but they're doing it not because they want to. They're doing it because they have to. I've seen videos of mothers saying, I'm down to 2 meals a day because the extra meal, I need to give it to my child. I mean, not everybody, not every single person, okay, but there's a lot of people out there because not everybody's middle, not everybody's upper middle, not everybody's well off, not everybody. People are struggling, okay. If you're not struggling, hey, big thumbs up. But at the rate it's going, they want everybody to struggle unless you're like, what is it, the 1%, something like that. So going without, see, there, people are making videos saying, look, I have cable, but we're gonna have to get rid of it. We don't need it. It's nice to have, but we don't need it. This is America. That's not the American dream. It sounds more like the American scheme, especially as of the scamdemic. A lot of this happened under Beijing Joe Biden's watch. Don't forget that. But I'm waiting for it to get better. Supposedly, rent for apartments, has leveled off in November. And I think something else leveled off, supposedly, and by next year it's supposed to get better. The inflation. I mean, let's face it, the prices have gotten so high. Look at steak, for instance. Look at the price of beef. A pound of beef, ground beef, that used to be the cheapest thing you could, economical. $6.33 a pound. That's what steak used to cost not too long ago. So I'm waiting for this shit to come down. But guess what? Once inflation kicks in and it keeps going, those prices ain't gonna come down. They're not gonna come down to where they were before the scamdemic. If they do, it would be a fucking miracle. But here's where we are. All right, people are increasingly going without. They're losing their minds. They're losing their homes. They're living in their cars, and this has to be addressed. This is the elephant in the room, 800-pound gorilla in the room. I mean, this is, and not many people are talking about it, but we need to collectively be sounding the alarm. This is bullshit, man. They are pricing us out of existence. They want us to yield on nothing and yield to be angry. Yeah, by 2030, they're right on track. Another 4 years of prices continuing to go up. UJ Kane, insurance, health insurance is supposed to explode. I watched the video. People saying, "Hey, my insurance is going from this to double, or almost double by next year." This is a nightmare. It's what it is. But they're doing this on purpose. They're doing it on purpose. According to an Abacus, ABACUS data poll, 67% of Canadians say the cost of living in the area is the worst it has ever been. The worst. They're saying this is atrocious. Our cost of living. I've never seen this. They're saying I have never seen it like this. People my age, I'm over half a century old. All right, or young. They've never seen it like this. People that are my age, people that have been around the block a couple of times, never seen it like this in Canada. 67%. Maybe the other 30-something% that has seen it this bad are from 100, maybe 80 or 90, 100 years old and have seen the Great Depression. I don't know how that works, but what I'm saying is a bulk of the Canadian population is saying we've never seen this bad. Another 21% report it is bad, although they recall more challenging times, and only 11% believe it's not a significant issue. Well, I guess they're rich, right? They got their money. They got that money, honey. Or they're on drugs and they're high and don't care, or something. Okay, 67% of Canadians say they've never seen anything like this in their life, cost of living. 21% said, yeah, we've seen it this bad. They've been rough times. 11% said, I don't know what you're talking about. What you talking about, Wills? Everything seems to be okay. Okay, whatever. But most of the people in Canada say they've never seen the cost of living like this. They've never seen things go up constantly. Constantly. Just constantly raising prices. This has got to stop. This is theft. David Coletto, CEO of Abacus Data, noted this intensity surpasses feelings in the U.S., where a recent poll found 46% of Americans say costs are the most challenging. So here you got, this CEO of this data collecting agency or whatever, Abacus Data, CEO David Coletto says 67% of Canadians say they've never seen cost of living this horrible before. And then he said, well, then you got Americans, only 46% 46% of Americans say costs are the most challenging. So you have a lower percentage of Americans saying that are sounding the alarm saying, oh my God, this is horrible. 46% of Americans are saying that. Meanwhile, 67% of Canadians are saying, oh my God, this is horrible, the cost of living. So he noticed that there's a higher percent of Canadians. Now, I don't know, are the prices even worse in Canada? Regardless, I mean, you got well over half of Canada saying that they've never seen fracking cost of living prices, in particular food, ever in their life this high. And you have almost half of Americans, which would be, I'm estimating, given that we've been invaded heavily in the last 4 years on the Beijing joke burden, 40 plus million, I'm thinking we have probably around 380 to 400 million people, including the invaders in our country. 46% are saying, well, you can't count the invaders because they're on EBT, most of them, so you can't count them. I'll say 150 million Americans are saying, throwing up their hands, going, out of the 400 million, going, what the fuck? I've never ever seen the cost of living this high. That's still a large number. 46% of Americans are throwing up their hands, going, what the hell's going on? The cost of living is atrocious. That's a lot of people, I'll say 150 million Americans. And then you got Canada, which the population is only it's less than what California has. California has like 40 million people. Well, there's an excess, but still. Canada has like, I don't know, 33 million to 35 million, they say. That's kind of sad. That's all you got. But 67% of them are saying, I've never seen the cost of living this high. What the hell is going on? So the bottom line is people are throwing up their hands. They can't take it anymore. And that's all done on purpose. The feeling of WTF as far as cost of living goes is more intense in Canada, according to Abacus data in their poll, than America. But both of them are still, America and Canada, a lot of people are extremely upset. They can't do it anymore. They're throwing up their hands and saying, F this is a nightmare I've been had. It was never an American dream. It's been an American nightmare all along. College, they're saying, is taking out loans, and you're 18 years old and they have tents out there on college campuses saying, well, come get your free t-shirt if you sign up for this credit card. You're 18. What do you, oh yeah, okay, free money, sort of, I'll pay it off. Yeah, okay. Yeah, big traps set for us all over the place. Now, people have navigated through these traps in America and did establish their dream, but over the years it's become increasingly hard. You can't argue that. It's way worse than it has been. Way worse. I feel like since the scamdemic, I feel like since things have changed, I know Obama's change we need. Oh, change we need. Yeah, I just felt like things were going in a bad direction when that started happening, and some could argue actually 9/11, which I could agree with it, but I really feel like things have accelerated in getting worse since the scamdemic. Since the scamdemic, I really feel like things have really accelerated in the getting worse department. And that's closing ports, the COVID tyranny, disrupting the supply chain, causing Biden inflation, all this has gotten worse over the last 5 years. And that's done on purpose because, by 2030, you'll own nothing. You'll be angry, right? So here we are. The CEO of Abacus Data Polling said, quote, this is not a marginal concern or a background anxiety. Coletto said it is a dominant lived experience. In other words, this isn't just a flash in the pan. This ain't something that's, it's a hiccup in life. Yeah, we could roll with it. No, this is something that's continuous. It's a dominant level experience. It's dominating life. It's feels like people are just being bogged down by this every fucking day. Now it's become year after year. Every time you turn around, this goes up, that goes up, this goes up. It's ridiculous. But if you don't understand what their intention is, their goal is, you'll just be like you'll be making videos like I've seen many videos going, why people will be people in the videos are just going like this. I can't make it anymore. I work 2 jobs. I work 3 jobs. I got this gig. I got that gig job. Blah blah blah, and I still can't make it. Why is rent $1,700? Why is this? Why is this? They don't know why. They're experiencing this stuff, but they don't know why. Why? Because they're pricing us out of existence. Literally. They'll either weather warfare you out of existence. They have earthquake machines. They could earthquake you out. They could flood you out, rain you out, drought you out, price you out. Any way they can get it. Because their agenda is, well, for most of us not to be here. 2025, this year alone, most of us, according to Deagle.com, we're not supposed to be here. Their population projection. The Georgia Guidestone says, well, we have to keep the population of the world at 500 million or less. Well, how are you going to do that? Different things. Take this over the sniffles, even though viruses don't exist. There's so many ways. Cancer, turbo cancers, vaccines, through the food, poison this, poison the air, poison the food, poison that. I mean, 6 ways from Sunday, right, Chucky Schumer? They can get you, right? Yeah. So we're up against tremendous evil. They want us to take this quantum dot vaccines stamp. It looks like a square, and put on your arm. I was going to show you guys that tonight, but I saw this and I said, let me get down on the ground level. Let's talk about the cost of living, because nothing else matters. If you can't afford to just get food, have a roof over your head, and electricity on, all this other stuff doesn't matter. So I said, let me go basic and address that. The cost of fucking living. Here's the thing. Food prices are the most universal and emotionally resonant cost. This is the thing that gets people riled up. This is food prices. The quality of food. I mean, people are waking up to the fact that, what are they doing to our meat? They're trying to slip in lab printed meat. GMOs abound. They bleach. What do? They bleach our. Don't they bleach beef or something like that? And then they put food coloring in there. People are waking up to the fact that our food is not what we thought it was, right? And then on top of that, they have the audacity to keep fucking jacking the prices up. People are waking up to that. Without food, I mean, how are you going to exist? It doesn't matter if you don't have electricity. It doesn't matter if you don't have a house. If you can't eat, you got to eat, right? You got to have water, clean water. You got to have food to live, and then everything else should follow. Well, now I need a house. Now I need this. Without food, you're dead. Without a home, you're not necessarily dead. There's plenty of homeless that are still living. They're making. It's not good where they're at, but they're still alive. You know what I'm saying? You got to have food. You got to have water. Number 1, numero uno, and that's what's driving people batshit crazy. They're getting increasingly annoyed because of the cost of food. But of course, housing costs are a major concern. The shit they put in the water, the chemtrails, everything. But this is not an accident, all right? And currently, the U.S. has no plans to deal with inflation and the affordability crisis, other than terrible ideas and scapegoating. I don't want to hear that our economy is doing good until it's doing good. I want to see all this shit come down. And apparently it's not. All right? 15-year repayment plan on a car. That's a thing now. I didn't know that. I found that out yesterday. I thought 5 years was a long time, because as soon as you drive that shit off the lot, it depreciates. But now 15 years. Because people can't afford the 5-year plan. So they're like, okay, let me give a 15-year plan on my car. I hope it lasts 15 years. What zone are we in? What Twilight Zone? What world are we in? This is insane. But you got to understand, it's done on purpose. Quality's going down, price is going up. pricing you out of existence. And the New World Order says, what are you going to do about it? You ain't going to do nothing. We're going to spray you like bugs. We're going to poison your water. We're going to jack up your utility fees, your fucking homes and all that. We're going to price you out of the homes. We'll flood you out of the homes. And then if you try to rebuild there, well, we'll make sure the insurance company says, well, we're dropping your insurance. You can't rebuild here. Reclaiming their land for them and get you into, well, go look at the Agenda 2030 corridors, where you're allowed, not allowed. Yeah, that's a real thing. I know most of you, when I say most, I mean most people are sheeple, so don't believe that, but you better believe it. So what else is left? Huh? These ruling classes are continually and increasingly trapping regular people into the doom loop of debt just so they can live. People are paying their food off with credit cards. Buy now, pay later. On food. That's a real thing. I'm going to cover this more and more. There's a lot I want to cover, like I've been saying, but time's limited. As far as each day and what I could do. Because if I make a long video, you know what I've learned? If I make a long video, like 45 minutes or an hour, with different topics that are very important, not many people ain't going to watch that. I have to make one video like this on a certain topic, maybe mention other things that are going on, and then move on to the next topic or video. And I have to have time to do that. Tomorrow and Saturday, I plan on making a more lengthy video of what's going on. There's a lot of fatigues out there. There's debt fatigue, there's pants on the ground fatigue, there's this pricings out of existence fatigue, there's criminals getting let go, back out onto the streets to commit crime again fatigue. Lots of fatigues out there, including army fatigues, which is weird. Why do they call it army fatigue? But that's what I got for you. They are literally pricing people out of existence. This is not the American dream. Many are having to determine whether they can afford rent or groceries. People are dropping their healthcare insurance. Why? Because they keep increasing the premiums, and the insurance policies are getting shittier. Scammers, it's a wild frontier for them. They have carte blanche. Scammers. That shouldn't even be a thing. Our government likes to say, well, we could track you. They could track you and what you're doing and watch what you're doing. But for some strange reason, they can't track the scammers that are calling people and preying on people, especially the elderly. Scammers calling them, calling people. That shouldn't even be a thing. I mean, you got AI, right? AI is the fix-all thing, right? Big Brother's in the house, right? For years, they could crawl up your ass with a microscope, but they can't get all these fucking scammers. Bullshit. I'm not buying it. That's what I got for you. Prices out of existence. You will own nothing. And you'll be either angry or you'll be happy. Whatever the happy part means. Maybe they'll just give you some crumbs and you'll get so desperate that you'll be like, oh, thank you, Mazza. Thank you, Mazza. I got a 10 by 10 coffin to live in. Or maybe they'll have you hooked on Big Pharma. Or maybe they'll hit you with some frequencies to make you happy. Whoever they decide to live or not live by them. But this is a real thing. You're getting priced out of existence. This is no accident. It's done on purpose. And the New World Order says, what are you going to do about it? You ain't going to do nothing. Don't be a troll out there. I am Eek.